Hey there everybody, PTPOP here, with all 4 lobes in my brain securely bound behind my back. And today I wanted to talk about call center employees and how they are not crazy. Call center employees are not crazy. So one of my viewers, Mind Over Matter 841, wrote to me and said, my videos are helping them realize that they're not crazy. Thank you, Mind Over Matter, for your video. I appreciate the support and the comment. And I want to talk about this because this really struck a note, because I remember my first huge call center was with Bank One, which is now Chase. And I remember going into training, and there were people in the training class who were a little bit weird, a little bit odd. And I thought I was losing my mind. I thought maybe I had began to lose my faculties or something. And there was this woman that came in dressed. I've known 2 women to dress like this in the corporate world. This woman came in a long white. This is one of my coworkers in training. She appeared in training class in a long white flowing gown, like a wedding dress. Kind of more modern version of a wedding dress. And I was like, what the hell? And she came like she was some movie star or something, came swooping into the room, like, oh, here I am. And I thought, am I losing my mind? And I had a supervisor at this bank in this call center that when I would go on the call, she would cut into a call live. She'd be sitting at her desk, she'd be listening to the call, and she'd cut in live from out of the blue and without announcing herself, and just take over the call. And I was brand new at the time, and the customer would be like, Pete, who is that? And I said, that's my supervisor. And she would just kind of like bull rush or bum rush me and take over the call if I was giving out inappropriate information and stuff, something weird like that. And I thought, am I losing my mind? Is this the strangest environment I've ever worked in? And the customers that were calling would be screaming at me. Now, this is 22 years ago. This is a long time ago. This is maybe 23 years ago, actually. It was 2001. And these customers in this bank call center were yelling at me, screaming at me, cursing at me. I thought, am I crazy? The supervisor seemed crazy. The people sit alongside of me, a little bit off the rocker. The customers seem crazy. Am I crazy? And I began to question my own mental health and stability. And when you go from a real stable environment in a working environment, like working in a pure corporate environment, like where you sit at a cubicle all day from 8 to 5, and you process your orders for widgets or whatever you're working on, and there's nobody to bother you, there's nobody screaming at you, you get your performance review, you get your little 2, 3, 4% raise, and you go home at the end of the day and you forget about your job. This is an entirely different environment where it makes you question your sanity. And to all of you out there who are questioning your sanity, who are aware enough, you have the critical thinking skills, and you're aware of your own abilities, and you're aware of your own sanity, and you're questioning whether you're losing your mind at the call center, you are not crazy. You are not crazy in any way, shape, or form. So when I talk about you being aware of your mental stability, that makes you not crazy. From what I've heard about people who are crazy, this is just my armchair psychology background. Not a psychologist or a sociologist, but from what I've heard, people who are truly crazy don't know that they're crazy. They don't even question their mental stability or instability. So when I say that if you're aware of your stability or feeling like you're going to lose your mind, then you're probably more than likely within the realm of sane. You are a sane person, you're stable. But there are those people in a call center who honestly are a little bit off their rocker. There are some. And I've sat alongside some of these people, so I can't say that everybody in a call center is not crazy. Okay, I've sat alongside people that just seem really either very eccentric or really off their rock, or completely or hopped up on drugs. So, for those of you who are questioning your reality or questioning your sanity, then you're more than likely in your right mind. Though I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, so if you're questioning your stability as a human, then I would go and seek help. Honestly, I would go and try to seek some type of help. So when you work in a call center, though, it'll make you question your reality, think you're crazy, because the environment you're in is so bizarre. It's just so unorthodox that all you can do is go, what the hell's going on around here? This doesn't make any sense. Because then I'll tell you what, when you walk into a call center, specifically a call center, but any corporate environment, number one, you're stripping away all of your rights as a United States citizen if you're in a call center in the United States. You have all the freedom in the world until you pull your car into that parking lot, walk out of that car, and walk through the threshold of the building that you're going to go work in. That's number one. So you go in there and you have to live by their rules, and they treat you like garbage. You walk in and you have to talk how they want you to talk. You dress how they want you to dress. You sit where they tell you to sit. You go to the bathroom when they tell you to go to the bathroom. You eat when they tell you to eat. And you leave when they tell you to leave. If they say jump, you say how high. It's kind of like the military, but in the military, there's a rationale behind the drill sergeant being a dickhead, right? I've not been in the military, but I pretty much get the idea. It's pretty easy to understand. You get some young recruits into boot camp. You got to teach them how to react, not think. You got to take these young men and women and whip them into shape so they know what to do when they're under fire, when the bullets start flying, the bombs start dropping. But in a call center, there's no rationale behind it. It's just madness. It's people on ego trips. It's the people at the very top, the top echelon of the companies have decided that the call center people are just a necessary evil to pacify the customers for a moment or two, get them on and off the phone, because the call centers are costing the companies millions and millions of dollars a year just to pacify the customer. And it's an insane environment because you're sitting in a chair. You're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to do anything until you're told to. And the customers these days, the customer can say whatever they want to you. They can call you filthy, dirty names. They can insult your heritage. They can insult your race. They can threaten your life. And you're not allowed to hang up. You're not allowed to walk away from that customer, because the customer is the bread and butter for that guy at the top who has leather mistress and he's going to Epstein Island on the weekends, or he used to be going there. You know, it's a very dark, maniacal situation, and you feel like it's crazy. You're crazy because it's a crazy environment. You're literally in an asylum of crazy people. The inmates are running the place. They've got people in positions of authority, in team lead positions, and in management positions, and in director positions that have no right whatsoever to be leading people. And again, I haven't been in the military, but we've seen enough stories in the history books about a sergeant or somebody that hit the beaches of Omaha, or was on Hill 508 in Vietnam or Korea, or was in Iwo Jima, and they had some crazy ass commander that should have never been a commander, was leading his troops, and he was a coward, he's a dipshit, and he got his men killed, and somebody in the lower ranks had to take over for him because he was cowering behind a pile of corpses. And it's the same thing in a call center. You have these people that are, for some reason, they became team leads, either through nepotism, like they knew somebody in the ranks, and they think they know how to run things, but they truly don't. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't know how to handle the pressure or the people. And it's crazy. You know what they're asking you to do. You know that a 7-minute talk time is crazy. And it makes you feel crazy because there's this huge amount of pressure put on you to succeed and try to do the impossible. It's a crazy environment because they're asking you to do the impossible. So if you're aware that it's crazy, if you're aware that what's being asked of you is highly unhealthy and unorthodox, I guess, then this guy's in a hurry behind me, then you're not crazy. Because there are those people around you who are certifiable. Most people who are crazy have no clue that they're crazy. They don't. That's what they say. They say if you're nuts and you don't know it, I think my father. I think my father was completely just a whack job. He wasn't a mean man, but I think he just was living this little fantasy world of drinking and pouring it up and fraternizing with and philandering with women and sitting in titty bars and blowing all the cash. Some of it I think was addiction. Some of it I think was that. But I think by now he just kind of a sociopathic, borderline psychopathic. Didn't have a care in the world about anything. He didn't know right from wrong, or if he did, he didn't care. Just whatever. And you question him about it. He said, I'm just having a drink. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's people like that are so broken off from reality. They're the crazy ones. If you're questioning your reality, you're not crazy. Number two, the environment you're in is crazy, and it will make you feel like you're losing your mind. The environment of a call center is unrealistic, it's unhealthy, and they're asking you to do things. They're asking you to complete impossible tasks. It's like climbing a grease pole, It's like the story of the Greek mythology story of the guy that pushes the boulder up to the top of the hill, and every time he gets to the top of the hill, it rolls back to the bottom, and he's condemned for eternity to roll this boulder up and down this hill forever, and he never gets it up over the top of the hill. It's the same thing in call center. They give you all these ridiculous tasks to complete that you can never complete. You're always they're trying to get you to spin multiple dishes up on poles. At times they're trying to get you to juggle multiple things. It's impossible for the average person to do all that and do it well within 6 months after just 2 weeks of training, and you have to learn the entire product line. No, you're not nuts. They're asking you to do the impossible. There's very few people who are able to manage all of that and the pressures and the screaming customers and do it well. And I think the people that do it well are the ones that are just kind of detached, sociopathic, crazy people. So you're not crazy. And if you're very healthy and you're seeing things as they are, it's a crazy environment, and it's a crazy environment, and you have the freedom of choice. You have freedom to start looking for another job and get something better than that. And today's customer is nuts. The customers are crazy. The customers don't. Most people in the customer world, they're calling these customer cells, the customer centers, myself included, or I've called call centers over the years and been just assholes to the customer, perhaps when I didn't prepare for the call. I didn't have my account number, didn't have my driver's license with me, I didn't know why I was calling, I didn't think out why I was calling. Most of these customers today are like that, and they get incensed and irate. They say you don't know what you're doing, you have no idea what you're doing, you're incompetent, because you can't read their mind. So anyway, you're not crazy. Hang in there. Try to hang in there as best you can until you find something better. I'm PTPOP. I'll be the same, baby. Bye.